Hey, Facebook. So I had such a crazy day today, and I just wanted to, I guess, vent to the world. Not vent because I'm angry, but I guess because I'm frustrated, and because I had this discussion today on my show that it almost moved me to tears. It definitely moved my audience to tears. And I was speaking with a defector from North Korea, a young woman about 28 years old. You may have heard her story, but I have to tell you that hearing this young woman, Yami Kim, tell me about what it was like to grow up in North Korea and how scary it is for her to see what is happening in America, what it was like to grow up eating grasshoppers and cicadas and eating tree bark and not being allowed to earn anything, having everything be owned and controlled by the state, to have an entire population that is malnourished, an entire population that is starving, and learning in school, as they do in North Korea, that the reason that they're starving and the reason that they're malnourished and the reason that things are this way is because of America. She said it's the propaganda in the school is just no matter what's going on, it's because of America. They don't have electricity, they can't have a living. They have to turn to the black market to even buy a movie. They're not even allowed to watch movies that go against the state. Every piece of content and media that they see in the school system shows them people that die not for love, but for the state. And she didn't realize that there was anybody that lived differently until somebody in her family had smuggled the movie Titanic. And she thought, when she watched this movie, the ending, and he died for love, that the actor must be dead and he must have been killed by the state, because you're not allowed to die for anything but the state. And she's sitting here telling me that she's in America and she's at Columbia University and she's listening to kids that have similar propaganda, that their entire country is being torn apart. Our entire country is clearly falling apart. Look at the gas prices. Go look at your gas price. Go anywhere right now and ask people how they're living, right? Everywhere you look, you see that America is falling apart. And she goes, and yet you go to the university, Columbia University, and the kids all think it's because of white supremacy. She's like, it's like scary propaganda. They can't awake themselves to the fact that no, what happened in North Korea was happening because the government was corrupt. What is happening in America is happening because our government is corrupt, because our government is stealing. What is happening all across Western civilizations is happening because governments are corrupt, because they have gotten together, because there was a globalist agenda, because they are stealing in broad daylight from the people, because they have stumbled upon an existential crisis. COVID-19 is going to happen forever. So this is the reason why we have to impoverish you. This is the reason why we have to shut down your businesses. This is the reason that you're not allowed to earn a living. And what's happening in the process? The state. The state is going to pick up everything. The state will own everything. You're going to lose your house. You're going to lose your job. And who do you think is going to come up behind and buy all of the housing market? Who do you think is going to come up behind and own all the property that we're not allowed to own anymore? What do you think is the next step in this, stopping you from being able to provide for your family? I genuinely, and I'm saying this really from the bottom of my heart, like for the people who hate Trump, I don't even care. You can hate Trump. I don't even care if you hate me, hate Candace Owens. I don't even care. When are you going to wake up to what's happening in this country? Like, what is it actually going to take, right? You are not allowed to work when the government tells you you're not allowed to work. Your children are being forced masked. Your children are learning propaganda in school, okay? You're being constantly told to think about race. You're being constantly told that the only reason all this is happening is white supremacy. You've got inflation through the roof, despite the fact that gas prices are astronomical. Biden has just announced they're going to shut down more pipelines because the Green New Deal. Because we need clean energy solutions. So you're going to have to go and maybe fill up your tank for $10 per gallon, because you know what, we need Green New Deals. And you need to just commit to the idea that is bigger than how you live day to day. The idea is bigger. You're learning actively in school how to be an idiot, okay? You have actual people, right, with credentials, tenured professors that legitimately are telling you that men can be women and women can be men, that men can give birth. What is it going to take for you to wake up to the fact that this entire nation, is being run by ideologues, and the job and the goal of an ideologue is to run you into the ground until you have nothing. You will have nothing. America is becoming a country of the have and the have-nots. They are wiping out the middle class systematically, okay? The middle class, the same middle class they used, okay, to garner votes, to go out, protest for racism. Oh my God, racism, racism. Don't look at us, don't look at us. Oh, here's what we're gonna do. We have to put in place policies. We need to, you know what we do? We need more government. We need more government. The only way we're gonna be able to solve this is if we grow government. We're gonna need a COVID force. We're gonna need a racism force. We're gonna need trillions and billions more of your hard-earned taxpayer dollars, okay? Because you're gonna own nothing and nothing. You're all gonna work for the state, okay? So we can solve these problems like climate change. Climate change is never gonna go away. We're just gonna keep saying like every time it snows or rains, we have to tax you. Yeah, climate change. Let's all work on this big concept of climate change. Oh, I see that we solved and now gay marriage is legal. Let's move on to trans. Like until kids can pick their gender and we can grow government and we can take more control over the classrooms for equality, like this issue will never be solved. What is it going to take, okay? Because I can't even think up, and I don't even want to say, I don't even want to curse it. I can't even think up what's coming around the corner, right? I'm convinced that we are going to go through a very real period of starvation in this country. And I am convinced also that you will be starving, you will have no job, and you will still have people that are convinced that's because of white supremacy. Yeah. You're going to have children taken away by the state. They're going to say, oh, we took your children away because you didn't vax your child. And you must be vaxxed, or else the state, we're going to have to, we could have them legitimately proposing to send people that are unvaccinated to camps. And you would still have people saying, it's because of white supremacy. It's because we didn't build the Tower of George Floyd high enough. That is the level of complete and utter nonsense that we are dealing with in this country. What is it going to take for you to wake up to the fact that this is tyranny? That this is the stuff that they convinced you, that media brainwash is real, okay? America's not special. What happens in China? What happens in North Korea? State-sanctioned TV. Their job is to make you agree with the state, okay? The state is in control. You sacrifice everything to the state. That is their job, and you're still watching it. I went on Twitter today. This is a real headline on MSNBC, okay? Real headline. Opinion. Why inflation is actually a good thing. Inflation, your high gas prices, it's a good thing. And all you have to do is realize that it's actually a good thing and your life will get better. What is wrong with people that are still watching these networks? How do you not understand that these people work for the government? How do you not actually objectively look at your life and say, my life is getting worse. I am poorer. I'm more unhappy. My kids are not safe. I am being forced to inject chemicals in my arm, irrespective of whether or not I want it or feel that I need it. I am being told that I must do it in order to keep my job. People that I didn't vote for or elect, like OSHA and the CDC, are making laws and mandates. That is not the way our Constitution works. Have you read the Constitution? Do you know what the Constitution says? Do you understand that this administration is walking over, they're ripping up the Constitution because the Constitution cannot exist in the same place that a communist country exists. There could be no God when the government is going to become God. There could be no nation under God when they want a nation under an omnipotent government. What is it going to take for you to wake up? How much more will you take before you wake up? Are you waiting for until it's too late? Are you waiting for until, like Biden proposed, they're going to have federal thugs show up and make sure you're complying at your door, complying to their mandates because there's an emergency? Everybody knows emergencies last for 2 years. It's an emergency. My house is burning down. Cool. Come here in 2 years because an emergency lasts for 2 years. That's the idea, right? Emergencies, and these temporary emergency authorizations last for 2 years. What's it going to take for you to wake up? Because let me tell you, you don't have much more time left. You do not have much more time left. This is literally like my family is now coming up with the plan B. What's it going to take? How do we live off of the grid? How do we make sure that we have enough food to live for years? Where can we go? How do we leave this country, if we need to protect our children? This is the kind of stuff that we're starting to think, because I don't know if some of you guys who are so brainwashed by state propaganda are ever going to wake up. You genuinely believe that people like me and Donald Trump are your enemy. And you know for a fact that your life was better under President Trump. You know for a fact, and you won't admit it. Because you've become an ideologue. Because the state has brainwashed you into turning into one of its soldiers. Even if you can't afford to fill up your tank, you've been so brainwashed that you're still going to defend the very same state that makes it so that you can't. I don't know. That's all I've got for you. I just needed to rant about that. And I hope you guys will pay attention and watch the interview with the North Korean defector that almost moved me to tears today, filming on my show. It'll premiere tomorrow night on the Daily Wire, obviously. dailywire.com/subscribe, and you can use my code RESIST. And you can get 25% off. Code RESIST, dailywire.com/subscribe. Bless you all.